Hi, I'm Andy Glass with Glass Impressions. Today we're going to build these classy Plantation shutters for the workshop. I use Rockler's Shutter Wizard and their template system to help design and build these shutters. This video is sponsored by Rockler Woodworking and Hardware. Create with confidence. Their template system allows you to choose from a few different options. Fixed louvers, movable louvers with front control arm, and movable louvers with hidden control arm such as these. Optional louver sizes are 1 1/4 inch, 2.5 inches, and 3.5 inches. These particular louver sizes are 3.5 inches. There's two ways you can source the material for this project. One, you can order from Rockler and have them cut to rough dimension. Or two, you can mill the material yourself. It's tough to beat Rockler's price point for this pre-milled material. It saves a lot of time. I started by going to Rockler.com and using their measuring guide to learn how to measure my windows appropriate for their shutter system. I used their Shutter Wizard to enter these measurements to generate the plans needed to create the shutters. I opted to go with Rockler's pre-milled stock as this saved me a bunch of time. At the miter saw, I cut the rails and stiles to length according to the plan that was generated from the Shutter Wizard. Next, I took the rails and stiles over to the table saw and cut them to width according to the plan. I laid the parts out on my outfeed table and clearly labeled the parts. With a 1/4 inch dado stack in the table saw, I cut the necessary rabbets so the louvers can clear the top and bottom rail. The plans call for a chamfer on all 4 ends of the top and bottom rail. I do this at the router table. Next, we use Rockler's router bit to create a decorative bead along the stiles. Rockler's Jig-It templates is the bread and butter of their shutter system. The drilling guide couldn't be any easier to use. Place the jig according to the directions and select the hole for the style louvers you would like, fixed or movable. The template comes with a special drill bit that acts as a guide for worry-free drilling. The template is only so long, so you need to move the template down and use indexing pins to drill the remaining holes. An easy way to connect the rails and stiles is use dowels. Of course, Rockler has a jig to make this very easy. I align the doweling jig flush to the end of the stile and drill the holes. I clamp the jig flush to the end of the rail and drill the holes. With the rails and stiles complete, it's now time to move on to the louvers. I move to the miter saw and cut them to length according to the plan. My window called for 18 total louvers. At the table saw, we need to cut a 3/32 inch relief cut for the hidden control arm. Using Rockler's jig, we need to drill a hole in the end of each louver. This will allow a pin to connect the louver to the stiles so it can freely rotate. Next, we need to drill a tiny hole in the relief cut so we can mount the hidden control arm. Now we need to insert the nylon pins I was talking about earlier. Now it's time for a little assembly. The trickiest part about assembly was aligning the other end of the louvers. I found that if you pivot one end and then slowly bring down the other, you can focus on one louver at a time and work your way across. As the glue dries, I'm going to prepare for installation. I cut a scrap piece of wood the exact same length as my stiles and mount the hinges. I then head over to the window and install this strip just like I would install one of the shutters. It's much easier to balance this single piece of wood rather than the entire shutter itself. With the assembly now dry, we can focus on the hidden control arm. Mark it to length and cut it with a hacksaw. Small nails are supplied to attach the hidden control arm to the louvers. I mount the hinges to the shutter exactly the same way as I did to that scrap piece of wood. This way all the holes will line up. I use the holes we made earlier and mount the shutter to the window. I hope this video showed how easy it is to make Plantation shutters and inspired you to build a set of your own. If you guys enjoyed this video, please smash the like button, share, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'd also like to invite you to like my Facebook page, Glass Impressions, and visit my brand new website, andyglassimpressions.com. Please see the description for links. Thanks for watching. See you next time.